Welcome to the Media Bolt Podcast, where we talk all things content creation. So no matter if you're shooting with your cell phone or you're creating big budget pictures with a cinema camera, we're here to provide you with practical knowledge for the next time that you press record. And on today's episode, I've got a great collaborator, friend, and just super creative person that understands the value of hustling and going for what you want in life. And it's our buddy, Loki.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Hey, I'm so excited to have you on today, man.
Yeah, it's very strange to be doing this.
Nah, I love it. It's just like old school conversations we have.
Yeah, no. I've seen the people you've had on here. I'm like, yo, you got Philly Flyboy, you got Cody the Plant, you got fucking Spencer Ortega, like among other, you know what I mean, people that I work with. Like, man, it's an honor for sure.
Yeah, man, it's been a great platform, and you're one of those people that like we really admire your work ethic and what you do, and you've been able to collaborate with us on several occasions. And the one thing me and Dids always talk about is when you leave is like what you bring to the set and the way that you work and go for it, man. This is like, it's inspiring, and we just love having you around. And
I appreciate it for sure. You guys have definitely pushed me forward, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah. We'll just start out. Could you just tell us a little bit about like your creative start? Because I know your story. You started in a much different place than where you're at now, but it's still in the vein of creativity. So,
man, it's been a zigzag path. I've been in a maze. Yeah, I don't know. I completely started out different. You know, grew up like most other black kids in Milwaukee and single mother household, and pops kind of came around, you know, and then just seeing her work so hard and work and work and work, and even my grandmother work and work and work. I always had a vision of like, okay, when I get older, I'm going to work. You know what I mean? I didn't know what that meant, but so, you know, started at 14, working out of whatever car shop my uncle had at the time, went to fast food and then went to retail, and then found my way into working with my hands because my family has an HVAC business, and I always would go on trips with my uncles or my grandfather. And somehow that transferred into me becoming a cable guy. And from a cable guy, I became an electrician. And then the pandemic hit, you know, and everybody lost everything, or, you know, what they thought was everything. And from there, I pivoted hard. I quit everything cold turkey, which you're not supposed to do, by the way. Don't do it. You know what I mean? $0 coming in, and you pick up a camera and you think you're going to make some money. And I did that though, and I'm still here, surviving, figuring it out. And now I run a production company along with my very frequent collaborator and friend, Wack. So yeah, we're living the dream, I guess.
Man, that's dope. I want to take you back a little bit before the filmmaking thing started. So we came across each other through a mutual friend, Michael Snowden.
Mr. Snow.
And at this time you were podcasting, making beats, engineering, rapping. Yeah. Like all of it.
I got a lot of talents, or I really would call them skills more than anything. But I just, you know, I started off before even film. Like as a kid, we used to record on those small flip phones, those LG Razors, even the LG Shine that used to flip up instead of like flipping open. And I still have one of those skits with no audio because we obviously didn't know how to encode, or Adobe wasn't like.
Right.
And this was like when Chappelle's Show was on, like 2004, 2, something like that.
3, 4. Yeah.
So we would record skits, and we didn't even know what we were doing. We were just bored because back then there was no constant stimulation of content. Your cable box was your cable box. You know what I mean? The internet existed, yeah, but it was like IM chats. YouTube wasn't popping. Soulja Boy didn't happen yet. Like, you know what I mean? So content creation wasn't something that people aimed to do. And we were just creating stuff, man, and watching it back on one screen on the flip phone. We'd never send it anywhere.
Close to.
We would just, there'd be like 6 of us, and we're just in my mom's basement just making random skits, you know.
That's so funny.
And it changed from that to, oh, okay, so now we're rappers, because all my friends wanted to rap, and I didn't ever really contemplate it. Unlike most kids from my area, you always want to be a rapper. I just enjoyed music. And then my friend, one of my closest friends actually, Kevin Noble. I'll never call him Kevin. Shouts out to Pops. But he just was like, hey, write to this. I think it was Brown Paper Bag from
Father Like Son album.
Yeah. It was Brown Paper Bag. And then it was the $100 million as well. And then ever since then, man, it was just like, wow. It gave me an outlet to like be creative and I guess speak when I didn't know how to really speak, you know, because I'm a completely different person when I rap. Like I sound completely different. My voice is louder. I'm more raspy. I'm more energetic. And then even from there, transition to, okay, now we have to record these things. How are we going to do that? I've always been that type of guy. Had a laptop. Okay. Oh, I got a Rock Band mic. We're going to use the Rock Band mic. We're going to use, what's free? Oh, Audacity is free. We're going to record with Audacity. And
Fruity Loops.
And you know what I mean? And my friends, while they loved recording songs, we would record songs and meet up every week and just show each other the songs. And that was our motivation for everybody to make it. And, you know, over time, it was like, look, this is nice, guys, but our shit sounds terrible. It sounds pretty bad. So I'm going to go buy something. Do you guys want to pitch in on a microphone? Nobody wanted to pitch in on a microphone. So am I going to wait? No, I'm not going to wait. So I get something for Christmas from my mom. She bought me my first microphone, Baby Bottle, a Bluebird microphone. And, you know, I became the engineer for the group because I had an inbox, an Avid inbox. I had a microphone and I had a laptop. So, and over the years, that infatuation with gear never left me. And I had to teach myself how to learn these skills, compression and EQing and recording proper audio and sound treating a room. So all of those skills over time translated to my other endeavors that I didn't know were ever going to exist. Yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of the spill on that, you know. I love rap, but I think I'm just a creator at heart, just period.
Yeah. That's so funny, man. We might have talked about this a little bit, but I was about 6-7 years of my life making beats and trying to rap a lot of by myself, and then I started kind of collabing with some friends, but it was always because I was a baseball player. Like, do I want to be that baseball player rapper? Like, I hear you. There was no Dame back then where you could spit and be a big athlete. So I just kind of like suppressed it. But what it did teach me was just like how to handle a timeline, and then how to take my creativity and put it somewhere. Because I was an athlete and I wasn't able to scratch that muscle like at all. Along that journey, like what made you say, man, I want to, like, filmmaking looks cool. I want to get a camera.
Man, oh my gosh. So we were recording a video with Noble, is who I call him, Hype Soul Leaf on whatever platforms. But and you guys were shooting a video for us. Literally, like the skit making in the beginning of this story, that was always a piece, but we didn't have any OGs back then who were our age, or who weren't our age, to say, hey, you're actually kind of good at this. Because imagine, like, look at RDC World or RDC World. Like, if someone would have said, hey, here's a camcorder, do what you guys are doing, just keep recording.
Just keep going, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'll post it for you, or I'll show you how to post it, or hey, there's actually a lane for you here. And once I saw you guys, it kind of, when you were doing the horror show video, it kind of like sparked, like, hold on, wait, what are they doing over there? Oh, that looks fun. That looks dope. I have a camera, I just never use it. Like, oh, okay. So it gave me another way to be creative, because
kind of saw it from that side of it.
I saw the other production side of it, because we weren't just doing a simple music video. It was, you know, it had a storyline. We had people there. We had makeup there. We had a generator there. Like,
yeah, we had a tent.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think did Brema come through with lenses or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it was like a lot of creators in this space who are doing not regular things. But back in that time, I didn't understand that. You know what I mean? Like, look at what you guys have built at Media Bolt. Look at what Brema's built at. Look at what Snow's doing with his, like, production. Like, you know what I mean? So
Snow's a friend of the podcast. He was episode 5 or 6, something like that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, just to see you guys create, and I didn't obviously know you guys were going to become what you were going to become, because we were just meeting.
Yeah.
But those little sparks of greatness that became what they were, eventually, like, if someone else is receptive to that type of energy, you're gonna like pick up on it. And I picked up on it, and I saw what you guys were doing, and the thought process of putting the puzzle together. I've always been a person who played card games and puzzle games like Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or Magic, or you know what I mean? Like those types of things exercise a different muscle in my brain. I don't have the time to do those things now, unfortunately, because I'm on the journey that I'm on. But
it's editing though, right?
Those types of things, it plays into editing.
Yeah.
It plays into, writing a script. Getting the shots that you need. And when I saw that, that wheel in your brain's turning, it made the wheel in my brain's turn, or my brain turn. And I was like, wow, I want to try that. So I bought a camera. Because I sold I think I had a T3i at the time. Everybody's had a Canon T3i. Who hasn't had a Canon T3i?
I bought a Nikon the first one.
Dids got me. And it's like, it's just another muscle.
Because I remember we shot Horror Show. Then we did another music video that has never been released.
Oh yeah, it's still aloof.
It's still out there. It's gonna come back one
You know
day.
how many people tell me to drop that like today?
I know.
Like right now? Like,
because it was so fire. But anyways.
Don't let Grambo hear that, because Grambo will get on me about it.
Anyways, I remember at that next shoot, your interest levels were different with what we were doing. Because I think you had already started that process in your head. And then you reached out. I remember you reaching out like, I want to do this. What should I buy? Where should I start? And we had a good conversation. And then you reached back out and was like, yeah, I bought all of that stuff and some more. And I was like, damn. But you For sure. I think that's something about your personality. You go all in and you make it happen. When a lot of people dip their toe in the water, but you ain't afraid to dive in the water, like literally.
For sure.
Like, let me tell this story real quick.
For sure.
Loki helped us on a wedding, and I get the call because I'm with the bride at the house. We're doing normal bride stuff. They're getting ready. I get the call that Loki is in Lake Michigan with the camera. Getting B-roll with the groom who's playing football in the lake. And everybody, just the type of like response we got from the family and things about that stuff. And it was just like, man, this guy does whatever it takes.
Yes. And
that was just like, that wasn't the first time that you've done that, but it was one of those times that stood out. I was like, man, this kid don't care. He's going to make it happen.
I appreciate it. That means a lot because, if you want extraordinary things to happen, what do you have to do? You have to be in extraordinary places. How do you get to extraordinary places when you were born in a place that, while it is extraordinary that you are there, the circumstances weren't exactly that? You know what I mean? So you got to be able to find magic. And I've never seen a movie where magic was just commonplace and out in the open. You got to go in a closet for it. You got to go outside at night for it. You got to go through a wooded area for it. You got to go climb a mountain. You got to need the assistance from the universe, you know what I mean? Or from whatever it is. And then it appears, but it doesn't appear to people who just stay where they are. And I didn't know that at the time, obviously, but I just never have been a person to stay where I was because I've been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And whoever stays, I'll just come back for you.
That's deep, man.
Hey.
That's deep, bro. So we talk about this a lot on this podcast because a big part of this is networking, for Media Boat and in our community.
Yeah.
And I think this is something I noticed from you. You were quick to dive into the network and try to meet and shake as many hands as you can. And it's paid a lot of dividends for things that you're doing now.
Yes.
And can you just talk to us about why networking is so important and some things that you've kind of done to kind of help that? Because you've come a long way. And how many years you've been shooting now?
It's really 3, but we're going into 4. Next year, it'll be around 4.
Right. But like by 1 or 2, you were like already like, your progress was super quick because you were putting yourself in positions to learn.
Yeah. By year 1, I had a Blackmagic 4K. Year 1.5, 2, I had a FX6. Like, that's a jump. And then I'm planning by next year to have a Burano. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the gear that makes you, though. I don't want that to be like misconstrued, but like networking is so important because if I never did that project with you guys, maybe I'd still be doing what I was doing and not doing what I'm doing now. And you never know who's watching. You never know who's talking about you when you're not around. You never know who you need to meet to get to that next point. You know what I mean? Like, you talk about the hero's journey, like you have to meet the old wise man. How do you know who's the old wise man? He isn't always a man, and he isn't always outwardly wise, you know? So I always try to pick up different traits from everyone. Like I've learned so much from you guys just alone, like going on shoots, seeing how you do it. I'm like, okay, so this is the new standard. Okay. I have to get to that standard, and I'm still chasing that standard, by the way. And then once I get there, it'll look different, you know?
You'll see the playing field. It'll slow the game down. You'll see it differently.
If I go in the attic and, you know, and I climb on the roof or whatever the case is, like, okay, this is cool from a 1-story house, but what if I go to the tower? I can see so much more. I could do so much more. And I can talk to so many other people because, oh, he's over there. Let me go over where he is. Oh, she's over there. Let me go over where she is. And I pick up different traits from different people. I see how big they do things, and it makes me want to get my stuff to that scale.
It's a growth mindset. You're putting yourself in place to learn, grow, and be challenged.
For sure.
And I think that's something like the goalpost should always be moving because you're always trying to reiterate and grow.
Right.
And I think that's the beautiful thing when you have people around you that all have that mindset, then we're pushing each other to get to wherever. There's really no end game. You're pushing yourself to just really just make yourself better because and enjoy the journey along the way.
And it's like, you know, a fool learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from another person's mistakes.
Put that up.
You know what I mean?
So that's the social media clip right there.
Yo, I'm learning from everyone that I interact with. When I'm on a set, it's with Spider-Gwen, with Carlo and Xavier and Spencer. I'm seeing what they're doing. And it's crazy. It's nuts. And I'm like, oh, okay, so this is the new bar. Okay. You know what I mean? And the greatest thing that I'm learning now isn't that I have to do it alone. Networking is one thing. Knowing that when you network, you should be recruiting pieces of your potential teams is a different thing.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm learning now because, you know, I go to one of your shoots and Dids is on the dang ice with a gimbal, skating backwards. So this
there ain't many people that can do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to get the shot that he wants, because he needs that shot. I understand that. I relate to that. And it's like, or better yet, you might see that shot and want that shot. And you guys collaborate together to get the shot because you have skills and he has skills. But that goes back to you need each other, and I need other people, and they need me. And that's amazing. You just have to realize that because you can't do it alone. You can shake as many hands as you want, but if you're not taking their numbers, if you're not reaching out when they need something instead of waiting for them to need you for something or not showing up when they need you to show up, you know what I mean? Like, that's important. People remember that type of stuff.
Absolutely. And all those people you mentioned on the Spider-Gwen set also really great things about you.
No, I appreciate that, yo.
Because I got to go over there and chat with them for a little bit, and they always said great things about Loki, and I'm like, man, that's my guy, man. I'm very happy that that kind of happened. So let's talk a little bit more specifically about filmmaking and where you're at in your journey and what type of filmmaking or projects or content or things that you're seeing really spark your imagination. Recently,
it's been a lot of short film, a lot of which I haven't really even released. Like I probably sent you 2, maybe 3 short films that aren't even like out on. We do a lot of 48s, 48-hour films. Shout out to Kat and Michael of the 48-hour film project. They're dope. And they foster a lot of local filmmaking greatness. You know what I mean? Like creating a community in which you feel like whatever you're making matters, no matter how small the scale, no matter what you're shooting on. You're trying your best to do something in a short amount of time, and you're getting it done. The content that's been inspiring me though is a lot of the content that I'm not even making right now. Like I consume podcast after podcast for years. It's been at least 10 years that I've been on just a YouTube tirade, just learning things and listening to people and taking notes as to how they move. Like even before Joe Budden became the Joe Budden that he is now, or before Joe Rogan became the Joe Rogan that he is now. Just watching these people create the types of content that gets me through my day, no matter what it was that I was doing. I could have been at my 9 to 5 at the time, and now I'm hustling and creating. So a lot of the things that motivate me right now are just within reach, but I understand that that's just not the lane for me now. You know what I mean? Like even the music video stuff, I love making music videos, but if I want to get to a certain level, I gotta work with people who are going to push me higher, which means that I have to be the weakest link in the room. You know what I mean? Like, and when you're the weakest link in the room, what do you have to do? You have to rise to the occasion and get out of the room. So while we've been doing a lot of short film things, we've been getting more into the international short film market where it's like, oh, okay, so people in France are doing this in this amount of time, and that's crazy. No matter what they're using, you know, they're winning awards and getting sent to France or going to LA or, you know, going to different studios to just impact whatever their local culture is, which impacts the world culture. And I just love all of it. Yeah. Honestly. And the best thing is now in year 1 and 2, it's like, okay, how do I figure out how to make $1 out of this? I figured out how to make $1 out of it. Now it's okay, how do I figure out how to get consistent clients and actually eat? So that way the people that I need on my team can quit their jobs so we can create doper stuff that we can make more money off of, you know? And whatever that may be, I'm excited to find out what that's going to be. But, you know, the journey is never something you can predict. So
yeah, you just got to stay at it, man.
Yeah, you just got to keep going.
Talk to me a little bit more about the 48-hour thing that you've been doing, and like what have you learned through those processes? Because you've done a few of them now. I know you got another one coming up. Because for me, that stresses me out to think about.
It's very stressful.
Writing a script, shooting it, editing it, all of that in 48 hours. Like I'm such a try to be meticulous and take my time type of person. So that's like chaos to me. Yeah. What is something that you've taken from that experience?
I'm really blessed in the fact that that's kind of where I'm starting with filmmaking. You know what I mean? Tons of my friends have made films. I've been on sets for tons of films. I've been DPs for film, but it's different when your breeding ground is constant pressure. It's get it done. Don't overthink it. Execute. You know what I mean? And then doing it 3 times a year, 4 times a year, putting together a team, knowing that you have to have production things signed, you have to have waivers signed, you have to have location releases signed, knowing that you have to have organization, someone to be your AD, someone to be your gaffer, someone to be the writer and the director, or someone to be the actor. That pressure for me, while it is stressful, is where I function best. Because I know the end goal is the same. No matter how my feelings are at the time, what do we have to do? We have to get a film done in 48 hours. You know what I mean? I know what the goal is, so let's just do that. And whatever pitfalls come across that way, we'll handle it, because we still have to get the film done in 48 hours. And on top of that, I'm like, I'm not doing it alone. Like, I got Will Captain, I got Ethan. I'm not saying his whole last name because it's huge. VDH. I got tons of UWM film students who just, you know, they went to school for film like you, like, and they had to do their senior films. I didn't go through that, but now I'm on a set with a person making a senior film. So I'm kind of fast tracked into these things. So while 1 year I don't have any editing experience or shooting experience, I'm going on 4 to 5 shoots every week, 2 weeks. So instead of the one guy who's doing 1 shoot a month, I'm getting the same experience that he gets in a condensed amount of time. And the 48 hours, they've been putting me on those platforms. You know what I mean? Like, there's tons of crazy filmmakers in those 48s now. Like, it's stiff competition. You got Daniel Pico, you got Sam Sorensen. Like, it's really crazy. And I'm competing against people who've been shooting these 48-hour films for 10 plus years. Yeah. So I know
that's a whole like competition, like different environment.
Yes. And again, that's the bar. Got it. You know what I mean? And then once you get to that, you can just create your own whatever it is that you're creating.
Is there prep that comes, because you're not given the prompt and all the information till right at the start of it?
You don't get anything until 7 p.m. or later, 7:30 sometimes, Friday. And it has to be done by 7 and turned in, not just done. It has to be uploaded and turned in by Sunday, 7 p.m.
So what kind of prep? Because there has to be something like, are you getting your teams figured out?
You can't prepare anything besides your crew and maybe have some locations mapped out. You can't write any story elements. Yeah. You can't have any secret ideas about what you want to. You have to literally have everything from scratch. Yeah. Besides obviously saying, okay, I want you to be my gaffer. I want you to be my grip. I want you to be.
Yeah. So you get your team assembled.
Get the team assembled.
Any talent maybe?
talent. You can get your talent. But again, you don't know what talent you're going to have.
Yeah.
Because what if you got an older lady and a younger guy and the story is about a baby? You know, you need to cast a baby. You know what I mean? You don't know what it's going to be about till then. But again, like it makes you fast track your process. You don't have the time to second guess yourself. You don't have the time to be like, I hate this or I don't like this. You got to stick with what you got and find the beauty in each shot that you can get. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you could just pull out a flip phone and do it that way too. People have won that way too. It's not just for people like me who own $6,000 cameras.
Right. Dang.
You know, I think you both would enjoy it a lot. Like I really do. It'd be stressful, but I think that you love it.
That's what's up.
Because at the end of that 2 days, you have a finished film. You know what I mean? Like imagine how many times you've had a film that's in production, right? And you're like, dang, it's 6 months and I still haven't casted anybody.
Yeah, right.
Or I still haven't picked a shoot day. 2 days, you got to film.
That's legit.
It's legit.
Let me, so we talked a little bit about like your hustle.
Yeah.
The things you do on set. Can you give any tips to someone that wants to get into that arena and stand out from that aspect? Because there's a lot that's going on set, and there's ways that you can help the project by just doing little things. Did anything like that stood out to you?
I would just say that just be there, I guess. Like no matter what's going on, no matter what excuses you have, just be there and pay attention to what people are doing. Because you might love one thing now and completely dislike it the next. You know what I mean? You might like something else over something else. So how do you find that out? You got to get around those people who are doing everything. You got to say, hey, can I like just watch you? Can you teach me that? Can you show me that? And you'd be surprised at how many people who genuinely care about, I guess, teaching the next generation or teaching the next set of creators, because again, we're all fighting for scraps out here if you're at a certain level. And a lot of people think that fosters like a very hostile environment, but for me, it doesn't, because what's for me is going to be for me. And luckily I've come across people who feel the exact same way. Like you guys feel the exact same way. Like you aren't going to block someone who's very capable and eager and wants to learn. You're going to try to teach them something. And then you see the dominoes fall, and guess what? They're teaching someone else something. And you know what I mean? Like, and you could take a bit of credit for that. So my advice would be stop making excuses, because your excuses only hold you back. It doesn't matter what happened. It honestly doesn't. Do you want it or not? Is this something that you want? If this is something that you want, then only you are going to suffer when you don't go after what you want. You know what I mean? Like it's as simple as that. And people can reduce it to being, you know, a little less empathetic towards certain circumstances. But my thing would be this is like, okay, best case scenario, all of those terrible things are happening and all of your wildest dreams happen and come together. Worst case scenario, all of those terrible things happen and more terrible things happen. It's a no-brainer for me, you know? Yeah. And if you go to set with a positive attitude, positive mindset, and you just soak up whatever's happening, you're going to find your way through it. That's what we are. We're human. We adapt to change, whether we like it or not. So just adapt to the changes and be easy to work with.
Yeah. That's
so important.
Yeah. Have an open mindset, be coachable, as they say, be teachable.
And most importantly, be easy to work with. Like, you don't want to be that guy on set who just has to be negative about things, or the world's ending when something goes right or wrong. And then when something goes right, you're quiet about it. You know what I mean? Like, so much can happen for you if people know you as the guy with a smile on his face. Or if you don't feel like smiling, the guy who always wants to help. You know? Like, I know so many people like that. And it's if you're a drag to work with, how do you expect to be on anybody's set?
Right. That's true, man. It's true. And I think you've always brought that type of energy, and it just makes it makes the referral like so much easier. You know what I mean? I think that's this world we work in is referrals, is referral based.
Yes.
And having, you know, a good track record does nothing but elevate you.
For sure.
I mean, there's not a lot of people that are that talented that can be assholes,
Man.
And there's a small percentage, and it's like that in sports too. There's a small percentage of athletes that can be, a dick or whatever, and still be a superstar.
Right.
Most of the people, you got to be a good teammate, man.
And you also got to, like you said, you got to be a role player first. I was a role player first. I'm still a role player right now. No matter what people say, how positive I am, the great work that I do, how far I'm going to go, cool. I love all of that. I appreciate all of it. But I can't get to where you want me to go or where you see me going if I'm not humble about it and I'm not learning from other people.
Right. And I think even when one day you are an academy director and you do all these great things, you still have that mindset.
We're coming for it.
Because being a role player just means you're trying to make the project the best that it can be.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what role, even if you're the director of the project.
Yes.
And that mindset is why I think you always elevate what you're going to do. And I don't
appreciate it.
Never see you like changing or anything like that, even when you do get that, you know what I mean?
We'll see what the future brings, but I pray that I'm able to stay in this hustling mode because I wasn't always like this. A lot of people aren't like this. You can be, a lot of people confuse being a grind, hustling enthusiast with I went to work every day. I got up off my butt every day. Okay, cool. But did you get off your butt for you and what you want? Or did you just get up because you feel like it's a requirement?
Yeah.
Don't feel like what you're doing is a requirement. You should love what you're doing. Because when you love what you're doing, you don't have to think about doing it. It just happens. It just happens.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, waking up every day, and me and Eric talk about this sometimes, especially when you're trying to gain perspective and just because it is important to do those things. It's like I get to wake up, be creative, and that's my living. I've had other livings that weren't that, and just having that gratitude about being in the creative space is usually because I think we hold ourselves back a lot of times from being successful at something because we're in our head too much and we stop creating. We stop being able to kind of make things happen because we're worried about external problems.
Yeah.
And just finding that zone, whether it's meditation, so you can just get into that creative mindset or whatever that is super important.
It's like working out, Nobody wants to work out.
Yeah.
But the people who love working out are jacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you really gotta go for it. If you don't go for it, you'll never get it. It's not gonna come to you.
What is something that stands out to you about this past year, 2023? What's something you've learned this year that's helping you and propelling you to the next level? Man,
currently right now, I went back to college. I graduated from MATC with a production degree and TV degree and all of whatever that is that it combines into. It's kind of a hard degree to pinpoint, but in the gist of it, it's just production. So I'm an electronic producer, and I went back to school for communications to kind of well-round myself in that degree. And I have a class right now that's about servant leadership. And while you get a class and you're like, oh, I'm going to have to read these books and write these papers, but the material of it is actually starting to resonate with me a little bit. Like, if I could take anything from this year is I've led a lot of teams this year. You know what I mean? I've had 23-person teams where I've headed everything and I was the director or the DP for it, and I had to know what was going on in different places. And what I learned is from those courses, as well as real life, is you can't do these things alone as much as you feel like you have to. Because you get into that space of, okay, I finally figured it out. I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to become whatever great director that I am. But you need a co-pilot. You also need, attendants to tend to the plane. You know what I mean? Like, you need all of these pieces to make that one dream get in the air and stay, to get to the next destination. And servant leadership is really about not being so much of a leader, but serving the people that you're leading, making sure that they feel like they're creatively fulfilled, making sure that the end goal is being accomplished and not what you just want to be accomplished. And then, you know, over time, your team's going to improve. And as your team improves, guess what? You improve because you're learning skills that they have and they're learning skills that you have. And you're pushing them to be their best selves, and they're going to push you to be your best self because it's a reciprocal process. There's no other way around it. And if I could take anything from this year, it's literally that. And it's also, I was grinding for so long with $0, with maxed out credit cards, with no way to get to school. You know what I mean? Like struggling to take care of my son. And this year, I figured it out. It took 3 years, but I figured it out. And that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Like you always tell people, hey, keep grinding. It's going to happen. But you're saying that out of good faith. No, keep grinding. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like it happened for me. It's happening right now. Like, and it gets me amped up because that once you figure out the key to the universe, you have the key to every door. You know what I mean? Like you have the key to every door. You don't know how long it's going to take, but you shouldn't be worried about the time anyway. You should be worried about the journey. So if I could take anything from this year, it would be, you know, keep going. It's going to happen, but make sure while you're surrounding yourself with great people, be a great person so you can make them better because they're going to make you better. Yeah. You know?
And I'm so damn proud of you, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
Seriously.
I really do. I'm terrible at taking praise, but thank you.
Wait, this one's for you, bro.
For sure. Thank you, bro.
That made me feel some type of way hearing that, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And
yeah,
that's what's so important is surrounding yourself by people that make you feel emotionally attached and locked into whatever it is you're doing. Yeah. It doesn't matter what we're in the filmmaking medium, but it doesn't matter what you're doing, you got to find people like that. And
yes,
it's super key. Can you talk to us a little bit about some projects you may have coming up in the future?
Yeah.
Or types of projects you'd like to do?
Man, I am in transition to move to a bigger studio. We've been in a certain space in Milwaukee for about a year and some change. We're moving to a bigger one. I will be setting up a podcast desk. I've always had the equipment, as you guys know.
Yeah.
I didn't prioritize it. Once I get a few more pieces, I'll probably do that as regular content because I feel like I have to speak on certain things. And I'm realizing the older you get that social media isn't what it used to be. It's not a place to just shit post and laugh anymore. You know what I mean? Like things that you might find funny might be very offensive to other people. With me being a professional, my shit posting days are dead. You know what I mean? Just professionally, and it hurts. I feel like
you used to, man, your Facebook used to be popping.
It hurts so bad because I just wanted to be so salacious, and I wasn't trying. Like I genuinely had opinions, and I wanted to talk with them with the town hall, and nobody wants to fucking talk to me. They're just throwing shit at me. And nowadays, I'm like, okay, I can't do that anymore because it's gonna affect my business.
Right.
But I need to seriously find an outlet to give these opinions and talk about things and have people see me. Because it's one thing to type something, but you can't get diction off of a talk.
Yeah.
Or off of a talk via text. You have to hear me speak. So you go, oh, he's not trying to just hurt my feelings. He just has questions. Yeah. So I plan on podcasting a lot more. I definitely have films in the work. We have tons of films in the work. I'm doing a 48-hour international competition this time. It isn't just local to Wisconsin. That will be going up against every country in the world. That's December 1st through the 3rd. And we're going to start having screenings, like secret screenings.
That's cool.
Throughout the city where you'll have to be invited to it. And, tickets are going to be whatever they're going to be. And then we're going to literally try to create a more diverse and together film community in Milwaukee because we have a lot of talents, man. Like so many talents, so many talented people. And what I see for me in the future is my first feature in 2024, maybe 2025. But I need a budget for it. There's only so much you can do for free. And I assure you, if anyone wants to work with me, please contact me. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to do. I'll hold a light. I'll hold a flag. I'll hold a flag and I'll smile about it. Like, I just want to be around other people who do other things because I get better that way, And
that's why your growth has been so fast and exponential because of that. Every time I talk to you, I'm like, what you've been up to. I did like 4 things last week and 5 the week before. It just, and it's so diverse on what you're doing. So you're getting your hands dirty and working, and your growth is insane.
I appreciate it.
You know, and just the dialogue that we have every time I talk to you, I'm like, damn, it's boom, 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 boom.
Figuring it out. You know, going from not knowing what ISO is to like understanding aperture and depth of field. Like, you know, it's different. And you don't get it until you do it. So I did a lot of it, and I'm still doing a lot of it. And again, I don't say any of this to be like, I know everything or I'm the best at this. No, I'm the weakest link in every room that I am in because I want to be in those rooms, you know?
That's it, man. That's perfect. And that's a perfect thing to kind of like say to anybody. You know, this podcast platform is for people to listen and, you know, they might be starting out, and just to give them some advice. And then there are other people that have been in it for a while that are listening. But I think what you kind of, your whole episode and what you embody is that, like, if you want something, you can do it.
You already have it.
You already have it. Exactly.
You just don't know it.
Yeah. And
You know
there's
what I mean?
there's a, you know, a thing that I kind of understood a while back, and it kind of changed my well-being. And it's just the vision of putting it out there in the universe that this is yours.
Yes.
And once you do that, every decision you make helps you get to whatever that thing is you want.
Yes.
You know, and having gratitude about the world helps you to kind of like alleviate any stresses. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think this conversation has been really cool because I can see all the things that are happening for you. You told me 2 or 3 years ago.
It's scary, ain't it? Like it's terrifying.
And it's cool because it's proof. It's proof that it works. Like these conversations and things, I mean, I always saw something special in you, but like you tell me things and I'm like, all right, let's see. And then the next time I see you, all right, yep, you got it. All right, what's the next thing? What's happening next?
Sure.
So
you know it's something next. It's always something next.
There's always something next. But I'm just proud and excited to see how you continue to grow because you've been just a great friend and collaborator.
Same,
man.
bro. Same. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna say it again. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And just keep crushing it. Keep doing
hustling.
your thing. Keep hustling.
Yeah, keep hustling.
Keep hustling.
That's all we got.
That's all we got, man. And I think on that we're gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate you, bro.
This has been awesome.
It's been very dope.
Media Bowl is just so excited to have you here, man. And
again, Media Bowl has always been integral piece of the foundation that is Lifelike Camera and Hype Soul Studios and Loki, and you know what I mean. Like it's a very important piece. So I appreciate you guys for that. Genuinely, you guys have literally put money in my hands to feed my child with. I appreciate that. Genuinely. So I'm gonna keep showing up to set.
Keep showing
up. And
we
gonna keep tallying these notes, and we gonna see who has a bigger book. You know what I mean? By the time it's all said and done.
Hey, tell everybody where they can find you and stay in touch with you.
You can find me on most streaming platforms is just Loki. Instagram is what I primarily use for creative works right now. So Loki, the Hype Soul, HYPESOUL. And reach out. I want to work with you. I want you to teach me something. I'm ready.
That's dope. So no matter where you're listening or you're viewing this podcast right here, please do us a favor. Subscribe, like, share this podcast. It really helps us and helps the algorithm. And until next time, peace.